Slaying that jank.
Thank you in advance for checking out my video. If you liked it, I'd appreciate it if you like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe to help support this channel.
Do it.
Thanks again. Hey guys, Trent here, coming at you with a Arena video, my first one as far as gameplay is concerned. So I've been working on building my free-to-play collection. Sort of free. I spent a little bit of money just to get a starting boost, but you know, because there's the $5 intro one-time offer you can buy, and then a $15 one that gets you some foil cards. Mainly, I bought those for the gyms, but anyways, if you're trying to grind free-to-play and you want to basically take the cards you have and be able to maybe earn your way just a little bit up the competitive ladder and earn some, you know, easily earn your daily rewards and everything, I'm going to show you what I did, and it seems to be working pretty good, and I'll give you an example of that in gameplay. So of course, a prerequisite to doing this is you want to work your way through the whole practice tutorial, unlock all the orbs, and unlock all the free decks, okay? So you'll start out with the Dragon's Fire, Tactical Assault, Graveyard Bash, Arcane Inventions, and Forest Might, and you'll build those up. And they get automatically upgraded as you complete the practice. So just play the practice matches and earn your upgraded cards and everything, and you get some nice ones along the way. And then when you finish the entire tutorial, you'll unlock, along the way you'll unlock these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 decks. I think it's one of these sets of 5. Anyways, there's 10 more decks you unlock throughout the whole thing. One, I think, is where the Chaos and Mayhem, where I think you get the Rekindling Phoenix. Is that right? Yes, this is a really key one for me to unlock for what I'm about to show you, because you earn a lot of good stuff. You earn shocks, you earn the Rekindling Phoenix, and one of the Siege Gang commanders. So what I decided to focus on was the Dragon's Fire deck. Here's where it was about halfway through my working up the practice ladder. I stopped upgrading it just to kind of show you. Along the way, you earn the shocks, the lightning strikes, the Rekindling Phoenix, and then I added a couple on the way. And that's one of the ones I recommend, and I'll get into that when I show you my final deck. So my upgraded Dragon's Fire deck, I went ahead and renamed. I made a copy of it and then built it up. So what I did was I took the Dragon's Fire deck and essentially built it into my version of Big Red. And if you complete the entire practice beginner's quest, where you unlock the whole color wheel, you can have all these cards basically, and only spend a few mythics and rares along the way. A quick disclaimer: if you're thinking about following my advice and doing this deck, just keep in mind, work your way all the way through the practice before you spend any of your wild cards on any cards. I repeat, do not spend any of your wild cards on any cards, because you want to make sure that you don't use your wild cards on cards that you're going to already get. Like I did that with Lightning Strike, for example, and that was a total waste. If you happen to earn a mythic rare slot and you want to go ahead and invest it on one of the Rekindling Phoenix, because it's just like one of the best cards in the deck, I can tell you without a doubt that you will only get one Rekindling Phoenix from the ladder, so you can get up to 3 more of those safely. But yeah, just wait till you complete the whole practice tutorial before you invest in any of your wild cards. I mean, you're just playing practice matches anyways, so if your deck isn't quite as powerful, it's not really going to matter. One other thing is, here's on MTG Goldfish, if you haven't used all these promo codes yet, here's all the promo codes for the fold out cards, but the most important ones is the Play Ravnica and Play Allegiance. These two get you 3 booster packs a piece of Ravnica Allegiance and Guilds of Ravnica, so that's going to be 6 additional boosters that you're going to need to open. And by the time you get done with this practice tutorial, you will have all the wild cards that you need to build this deck. So here's my Big Red. So 24 lands, got 10 5-drops, because we're going big. Got a playset of Rekindling Phoenixes, playset of Goblin Chain Whirlers, playset of Ashino Pyromancers, playset of Wily Goblin, a couple Lava Coils, a couple Lightning Strikes, a couple Banefires, and a couple Shocks. So this deck is a deck that's made to control the creatures on the early game, be kind of like an early game control deck, and then stabilize and just finish the game with huge 4 and 5 drops that really impact the board. Now, again, most of these cards you get just for completing the tutorial. The only cards that I had to invest rares in were the playset of Goblin Chain Whirler, which I highly recommend you go ahead and use your rare cards for the Goblin Chain Whirler anyways, because beyond this deck, there's, well, you know, it's a tier 1 card. Mono Red uses it, Gruul Aggro uses it, just to name a few of the top tier decks. So you get 1 Rekindling Phoenix, so you'll need 3 more Mythic slots if you want to fill this out. And again, this is another one that I highly recommend. There are many decks out there that just simply can't contest with a Rekindling Phoenix. It requires, of course, a specific answer, or it just stabilizes and wins the game for you. The Siege Gang Commanders and the Banefires, I do believe, were included in the deck. The only other rares I had to spend was I got 2 more Demanding Dragons. That is a questionable one. You do get 2 Demanding Dragons without having to use a rare card. You could try to fit some other 5-drop in there or some other card. The deck does come with, I think, 2 of these. Or I think you earned all 3 of these by the time it's done. But if you did want to spend your rares on the Demanding Dragon, you could leave a couple of these in, I guess. But I wanted to have a bunch of 5-drops, and Demanding Dragon I think is really good. So that's why I chose to do that. So anyways, we got a playset of Shock to have that early removal. It's not an entirely dead card to control because it can at least go to the face. Got the 2 Banefires in there because of control. If control wasn't a thing, and this is, I guess you could say, intended for more best of 1. If we're playing best of 1, that's why I have these main boarded and only 2 Lava Coils, because against any control deck with no creatures, obviously Lava Coil is going to be 100% dead. Got a playset of Ashino Pyromancer. It's just a nice card that gets in the way, deals a couple damage. It could hit a Planeswalker if you need to, but it's really just that 2-drop roadblock until we can stabilize and start casting our big stuff. Got a playset of Wily Goblin. Now these didn't come with the intro pack, so you would have to invest for your wild cards on this, but I think it's a pretty good one for this deck because it's, again, another speed bump on the 2-drop slot, but it ramps you 1 treasure, so you can hit that Rekindling Phoenix or one of your 5-drops turn earlier, which can be really powerful. So we got 2 Lava Coils. In this spot, you could run 4 Lava Coils and just cut the Banefires if you just say that you want to be extra good against creatures, and you're saying, I'm just going to not worry about being good against control, because ultimately this deck isn't like great against control to begin with. So the 2 Banefires kind of give you a little bit more of an edge, and these would be the only 2 100% dead cards against the control deck. But against non-control decks, against creature decks, this is one of the most premier removal spells in the format. Rounding out our 2-drop slot and our burn slots are a couple Lightning Strikes, just another versatile removal spell that can still go to the face, so it won't be completely dead. Got the playset of Goblin Chain Whirler. You can still, stabilize the board with this, plus it can get aggressive. Just one of the best red cards in the format. Definitely worth spending those rare spots on. Then got the playset of Rekindling Phoenix. Yeah, a lot of times if you just cast multiple Rekindling Phoenix, you can just win a game outright because of that. You get 1 on your way up the ladder, and if there's any investment of a mythic rare, I would say this is one that would be definitely worth it. Charging Monstersar seems like it's kind of janky, but I actually like it just fine. It could be argued that maybe in this slot the Skargant Hellkite could belong, but it is a mythic rare, and I'm gonna be honest with you, the Skargant Hellkite to me seems kind of overrated. I mean, it's not terrible by any means, but it's only a 4/4 haste. So if you want it to do anything besides be a 4/4 haste, if you want it to be a 5/5 and have that ability, you have to let it survive on the battlefield for a turn. Well, this deck is trying to close the game out in increments of 5 damage at a time, so I'd rather just hit with 5 damage for haste. And if our opponent has some creatures that they want to block with, so be it. But this card has proven to be pretty good, and you get a playset of them for free with the deck, so it works out pretty nice. Demanding Dragon, I mentioned that I went ahead and invested 2 rare slots on this to finish out the playset. This is just a really good card, and against decks that don't have a creature on the battlefield, it's almost like it has haste, because if it resolves, they have to take 5. So this card could easily be worth 10 damage in a game to finish the game for 5 mana. Not bad. And, 5/5 Flying Dragon. Just a body that big sometimes is too much for some decks to handle. Then we got a couple Siege Gangs, which I do believe I did not have to invest any rares in this. I know for a fact that I got one with the working the way up the practice ladder, but I think I got both of them. But Siege Gang is just another outstanding 5-drop that it's not as big like the other creatures, but it just goes wide, and so it can stabilize a board when sometimes you're in trouble. And of course, we have the mana to sling our goblins and finish the game that way. And not to mention, we have 8 other goblins in the deck as well. Rounded out with 24 beautiful basic M19 mountains. So one interesting factor of this deck is the first couple turns of the game, you can play stuff like Shock, Vashiano Pyromancer, and Goblin Chainwhirler, and this deck just looks like mono red aggro, and people don't realize that they're playing against something different. So you can kind of trick your opponent for the first few turns of the game sometimes, and then all of a sudden you're casting these big drops out of nowhere, and they don't know what to expect. So this is my Dragon's Fire intro deck that I converted into Big Red, and we're in Ravnica Allegiance Standard right now. So let's try to see if we can do anything on the competitive ladder with this. Low on land, but we can control the early game for a little bit. I guess we'll still keep it. Mountain versus mountain. There's a Phoenix. Hopefully we draw something. Hopefully draw something like a Pyromancer or a Siege Gang here. Or I mean a Chainwhirler. But first a land, actually. Let's see what we draw. Ouch. We'll just lava coil that down so we don't have to deal with the token. Well, there's another one. Okay. Not getting very lucky on the land here. We'll just take the hit for 1 right now. Let's see what he plays. Blood Divination. Okay. Alright, well, I guess we can shock down the token then. Give us a land. There we go. Alright. Okay. Kill it too. If we can hit another land, we can play a Phoenix. Alright, there we go. Now we're in business. And one more land and it's 5 drops until all of eternity. Reassembling skeleton. That's cool. No land. Alright, well, we'll just go on the aggro. Really getting punished for keeping that 2-lander. Act of treason. Uh-oh. Not so good whenever we're at 19 lives, but whatever. So you got something to, like, sacrifice it? Oh, he could probably do that, huh? If he can do a sacrifice on it? No? Okay, never mind. Oh, well. Let's get in an attack. Yeah, reassembling skeleton is really good against Demanding Dragon, actually. Because I'm sure he doesn't mind sacking the reassembling skeleton. He has the tech against our Demanding Dragon. But at least now he's got to contend with a 5-5 and a 4-3. Hopefully he doesn't have a bunch more active treasons, though. It could start to matter. He brings it back right away. He does have another active treason. Haha, that's funny. I'll just take the hit. Alright. That was interesting. Didn't expect to have somebody to have the reassembling a skeleton against my Demanding Dragon. Alright, a 2-lander again, but we got a Wily Goblin this time, so that looks a lot better. And we go first. When you have shock, you have to keep passing the turn, even though you don't want to cast it. Oh, got a blinged out opponent over here. Ooh, blue-black. So we'll get it down to Goblin. Give us a treasure. No, we don't want to shock, so pass the turn. Opponent discovers and gets to surveil. Looks like they don't graveyard anything. Hopefully this lava coil is going to be good in this matchup. Get in with our goblin. I think I'm going to go ahead and go for the Phoenix now and burn our treasure. Guess I'm going to burn... Guess I'm going to discard the shock. There's another land. So we'll get in for 5. Hostage taker. Alright. Takes away our Phoenix. So I want to be able to cast the Montesaur if Monstrosaur if we draw a land. So I don't want to wait for Lava Coil, I guess. That's a shot. We didn't draw it. Getting for 5 more. Really want that 5th land. Interesting. So we'll sacrifice Phoenix because it'll just come back. And I think it's time to throw this shock. Get back our Phoenix. And if we get that land, it's game over. Oh, another shock? That does it too. Crash in. And a shock to the dome. That'll do it. Nothing in between, huh? I think I'm going to go for a mulligan on that. I think this is a little bit better. We'll keep the 3rd land. Alright, no place for our opponent. Play a Pyromancer. Play our opponent for 2. Still no place for our opponent. Attack in. Down to 16. Dragon egg. Interesting. Chain Whirler. Well, I guess I gotta pop this dragon egg here. Okay, resolve. I'll shock it down. And I'll pass the turn. Opponent's stuck on land, I guess. Since I saw Dragon Egg, I have a feeling I'm not going to deal with a lot of little creatures, so I'm probably going to go ahead and put this Chain Whirler down for value. Or not for value. Attack it with my Pyromancer. Oh, it eats a shock. So we'll just go ahead and commit the Chain Whirler to the battlefield. Opponent's still stuck on 3 lands. So we got our 5th land, so that's good. Attack with Chain Whirler. Spit Flame. So our opponent's playing with the version of the deck before it's advanced, I guess you could say, or before it's more evolved. Okay, he's got it. Play a demanding dragon. I'll hit him for 5. Sarkin, cool.
Let us fight! I'll show you unhinged.
Oh, opponent scoops it up. Alright, I guess he never got that land, that's probably why. Against the right deck, this could be a great hand, but it's a little bit land heavy. We'll still keep it. Actually, 4 lands isn't really that land heavy for a deck like this. Druid, okay. Guess I better take that out. Alright, that's good. Didn't have a play. I don't think I care about any other 1-drops from this point on. Or 1-toughness stuff. I need to get something to start clocking my opponent with here. Alright, no plays. Really glad I killed that. Get in with Chain Wheeler. Pass the turn. Opponent has 4 mana now. No Nullhide Ferox or Vinemare? Let's see here. Okay. Guess I'll go ahead and hit him for 5 with Demanding Dragon. Knock it down to 8. Centaur Corset. Oh wow. I underestimate, just because we're playing in competitive, that what kind of decks we're facing against, I guess you could say. Nothing wrong with it or anything. So, hit him down to 3, and we have plenty of shocks to finish him off. Alright, that does it. Alright, so Big Red, Ravnica Allegiance Standard, best of 1, taking the Dragon intro deck and making it into something semi-competitive. Of course, what you saw was in the very early stages of the competitive ladder again, so don't expect this to be able to grind you all the way to Mythic, but I think it's a good place to start. You could see I was able to take out some opponents. They seemed like their builds weren't as good as mine. So that's the idea, though, to where you can build sort of an optimal build with very few rare card options. And this one doesn't really isn't too demanding in regards to that, because it doesn't require any dual lands or anything like that. A good portion of the rares you get anyways, and we're using, you know, uncommons that just hit for 5 out of nowhere and clock your opponent. So I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a good one.